This is DP World Presents Going Beyond Boundaries. We're looking back at Canada's win over Ireland, their first ever at the Men's T20 World Cup. And in this show, Niall O'Brien will help us pick the standout all-rounder from the game today, the all-rounder who delivered on all the 5 smart Ps: smart perspective, smart partnership, smart performance, smart preparation, and smart possibilities. Lots of smarts were shown by Canada to get this win against Ireland, Niall. But the standout all-round performance of the day does come from the Irish camp, doesn't it?
Yeah, Mark Adair, I think, was exceptional once again, both with ball in hand and finally finding his form with bats. He's always had the great ability to clear the ropes at the back end of an innings, as he showcased in a test match at Lord's when he got 88 versus England, narrowly missing out and getting himself on the honours board. What does Mark Adair do? Well, in the power play, he's exceptional. He's a brilliant power play bowler. He's got a wonderful wrist position. He can swing the ball both ways. He's got an ability to seam the ball back into the right-hander without really giving too much away from his wrist position. And he's got some lovely slow balls. Today, actually, he came back at the back end of his innings as well, closed out. I think his last over only went for 5 or 6 runs. So actually, Mark Adair with ball today in the power play, where he always excelled, and at the back end, where sometimes he hasn't been quite so consistent, he was excellent with the ball in hand. So he got lovely movement, picked up a wicket again, and he's leading this attack. You know, he's been Ireland's probably premier bowler for 18 months or so in both red ball and white ball. He just needs a little bit more support. With bat in hand, while he was there, Ireland, they believed. They were getting themselves closer and closer. He was finding the middle of his bat. Unconventional shots. He's a big, strong lad from Belfast. He just stands and clobbers it over deep mid-wicket. So it was a great performance from Mark Adair. Never easy, you know, when you lose a game, to look back as a player and be happy with the outcome, because always you want the team to do well. Of course, it's a team game. But Mark Adair, over the last 2 games, I beg your pardon, he can look back at the India game, very economical. Today, economical and found form at the bat. So for me, yeah, Mark Adair, the standout all-rounder of the day.
Yeah, and just so much of the contrast which you presented, because Josh Little has had a tough outing. So Adair has had to make up for that because Little's been leaky, but Adair's so economical. And then when you look at the bat, he comes in at 59 for 6. Ireland have barely scored any boundaries through the first 15 overs, 74 for 6 with just 2 boundaries. A surface that did look tricky, a Canadian bowling attack who was really stifling them. Takes something seriously good to hit the boundaries with the ease that he did in that 2-3 over spell that kept Ireland alive.
Yeah, and I think it's testimony to the pitch as well. You know, it's in both innings, it got a little bit easier. Even in the game against India, it did get Ireland's game against India. It got a little bit easier when the ball got soft. You saw Gareth Delaney in that first game against India score fairly freely. So, you know, for all the other Ireland batters, they're probably thinking right now, if we just had hung in there a little bit longer, played a little bit smart, all the S's you mentioned, a little bit more smart up front and in the early passages of that run chase, maybe Mark Adair wouldn't have had such a tall order at the back end. But, you know, very good for Mark Adair. As I said, it's never easy when you lose a game, and that's a tough loss for Ireland. They're flying to Miami now. They're straight to the airport to fly to Miami. That'll be a difficult flight for all the players. There'll be a lot of glum faces. There won't be much chat. But Mark Adair, he can hold his head very, very high.
Sad that it goes in vain, such a good all-round effort. But if you want the perspective on just how good Mark Adair was, even though Ireland lost, he was the MVP, the player with the highest impact rating on ESPN Cricinfo Smart Stats for Canada versus Ireland. So Mark Adair is the winner. Thank you, Niall O'Brien. This was DP World Presents Going Beyond Boundaries.